So another series of opposites that have certainly created great chemistry is yourself and Hangman.
Yes, yeah.
This has been almost I don't want to say a career-defining feud because I don't know that your career will be defined by it necessarily, but it certainly
definitely
helped,
for the time.
It
Definitely
certainly
for the time being.
defined AEW programming, and we have seen Hangman become so much of what we initially saw in you on screen as well. When you were pitched the idea of working with Hangman, did immediate ideas just flow through your brain? Is he something you had even had on your radar as far as working with in the past?
I honestly didn't know where we were going to start. What was the baseline? And a friend of Washington came up with the idea of hey, we don't know where you're going following Wembley, but I have an idea of what I want to do with Swerve, and I think you two right now. We need to get Hangman back into singles, for one, because he was doing the six-man stuff and trios. We need to get you back into singles, and you need a counterpart. And this is I always consider, we all do, consider Hangman, he's the main character of AEW. And so it's okay, we need to put him in a turmoil.
Yes.
And the elements that I have brewing in my head of all these ideas I can really do to just manipulate that and touch on that and play with that. Is oh yeah, Hangman's I can use a lot of elements because he was so pure, and to me it was just having pure water and then just adding in iodine in it. It's just the whole thing is starting to turn and slowly just take over the entire glass of water, and that's what I wanted. And to me, that's how characters are truly defined. What elements of another character is going to alter the show. What it alters a character, a main character, and it kind of shifts the mood and the tempo and the theme. So now my music, when it's coming out, it's a positive thing, but there's dark elements coming behind it. You know what I mean? So Nana's, it's luring you in to a false sense of security. Oh, Nana's here. Oh God, wait. Oh, then there's this other guy coming behind you that's just trespassing and going into Nick Wayne's wrestling school and going into Hangman's house. That was the point of those things. It's I'm it's a candy coated painting of things, and then Hangman is just the elements of I'm dragging you down to hell. We'll see who comes out at the end of it. And it seems we both came out, but somebody came out differently.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Way differently.
Yeah. So I came out of it oh man, I don't think I think this evil, this resentment I'm holding in me is holding me back from achieving my goals. Because if you notice, when I started doing that, the international title, I had it, lost it. The Continental Classic, I had it, I lost it. The TNT title opportunity, I had it and I lost it. The AEW World title, I had it and I lost it. Now it's is this evil worth it? Is being that way?
You exercise the demon.
Right. So now I got to now I'm kind of understanding. I was am I worth it? Now, which goes back to the promo I cut this past week on TV. Is am I supposed to play this role of just being the guy that gets close enough but can't get it done? Maybe this is karma from all the bad that I was doing, all the bad, evil. Maybe it is that's it's got me to there. But something more is going to have to get me over the hump, Watching
you in real time, sort of reckon with the fact that you did all these things in this character, and the crowd just loves you. Yeah. They're telling you it's your house when you literally broke into another person's house. Was that something that you expected? Did you expect them to be hell yeah, this is maybe the anti-hero we need, or maybe not even an anti-hero, just the guy they need?
They see a guy that, like I said, I go back to Demolition Man and Wesley Snipes concepts all the time. They're seeing a guy that's been underground for so long, and we know how he needs to eat. We know he's starving, and he's just coming up on surface. Mm-hmm. And if you're the rich watching this underground dweller come up to steal his food, you just look at him as this is a thief.
Yes.
Oh my God, this is this is a really evil person. What are you doing? You're stealing from us. We earned this. But You know, you don't deserve this. You're just looking at them as a criminal and a wrongdoer. But if you like really follow their story and watch how and why they're under the ground and why they're coming up to like try to take from the rich so they can eat and they can like provide and they can do these things. Because if you go back to Hangman dressing me down right before Texas Death Match, he was telling me is like that's why your wife left you. That's why your kids don't talk to you. That you're a child. You don't deserve these things. I'm like, well, that's why I'm trying to get to where you are. So yes. I can have those things. I want what you have. Hangman, you have the house. I've been in your house. You have a lovely family. You have your wife. I want that. So, but the only way for me to get that is to get to where you're at. And the only way I know how to do it is to steal from you, the people in the above, from the people from below. So there's a lot of like, also it's almost like the movie Parasite.
Yes.
It's like the people below want to get what the people above have. The only way they know how to do it, they have to exercise their skills, which is thieving and stealing and like conning and taking advantage of things to be just up there with them. You know, and I'm trying, that's what my character is. And I think the people are seeing that. We're like, this guy works hard. He's talented. He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to see him succeed now.
What I loved was that it wasn't just the personality change that we saw in Hangman as a result of these promos. His physical transformation was seen. He had there was a mention of him not having new gear in like a year. Well, he's got new gear, new bedazzled rose gear now as well. All that stuff, like everything mentioned, adjusted for him. It's like somebody knocked on his door. Didn't knock on his door. They beat down his door, walked through his door and said, you need to change up all this. That match that you guys had was fucking insane.
Yes.
It was one of the most beautifully horrifying things that I've ever witnessed. And I've mentioned this to you. I don't like that kind of wrestling, and I adored that match. It was one of the greatest matches I've ever seen.
Thank you.
One of the greatest stories that I've seen told. Like, how do I even begin to ask you about that? Like,
oh man, like
you had to know that this was going to be something that was going to possibly change your life forever as you're laying it out.
At the time, all you're trying to do is just make sure that certain points of the match are laid out that people understand it. I want to just make sure like it reads properly to the audience, live and people watching at home. I want to make sure that they understand the motive of why we are doing what we are doing. You don't want to just see two guys just bludgeoning each other with objects because anybody can do that. You can get anybody, like without a feud, without a rivalry, you can get two guys in there to do that. I wanted to make sure all the weaponry just made sense for why we were doing this. Like the staples got pulled out. He wasn't trying to beat me. Hangman wasn't trying to beat me for the first while. He was just trying to hurt me. He's trying to hurt me. He wasn't trying to like get this match over with. No, he wants this to go a while because he wants to pay back all those things that I was doing, and he has the freedom to do it. I can't run. I can't go anywhere. So he has me. Then the staples was to also signify the picture, this child's picture that I ripped off the refrigerator when I came in. He wanted to put it back on my face as like, you know, like, and then he was just so infuriated and with rage that he's going as far as to like drink my blood and spit it out in the air because he wants a part of me. He wants me to like, you're not going to forget this. It's almost violating another man in a sense. I violated his home. He's violating me. You know?
I was going to ask you, what was your reaction as you're bleeding and he slides right underneath you and he's like...
I was like, this is a lot of blood. Like, this is an awful lot of blood. That's all I was really thinking about.
Oh my God.
And like, it's just like, this is a whole lot of blood. And I still have to like run and move and like fight, and hopefully I can see, because I could barely even see because it was just so much, and I never bled that much in my life. You know,
was that a concern for you or anything? Were you even for a moment like
for a little bit, and it's easy to like go into shock and like go like have anxiety because like humans you're not supposed to witness your blood like leaving your body so much.
Designed to be on the inside.
It's not supposed to fountain out, you know. But like I was just like, okay, stay calm, you're okay. your breathing's good, you're not hyperventilating, and you're not getting lightheaded. You're good. And then I go outside, then pile driver on this barricade. And I was like, okay, it's still going. It won't stop going. So like water bottle, and then it's like, okay, that like coagulated a little bit, so now the blood just became sticky. But like my wristbands were full white, and then by the end of the match, it was just like red on each side. They're like red gauntlets. It was just because I just kept wiping my face. It was so bad. It got to a point where I just like fell down on the mat, and I just like wiped my face on the mat because there was nothing else to wipe my face off of.
Oh.
It was a horrific, beautiful masterpiece. I was like, and like the ending of all these elements of like, Brian Cage, like just to remind the people like, hey, I'm still a bad guy and I still want to take the underhanded away. I don't want to just, like I need help. Help me. Somebody help me.
I know you all were supposed to do a little bit more, and then it was like that was sort of taken off the table because how can you top that?
You can't, man. I'm like, you got to keep these guys away from each other for a while.
And then you all had the triple threat, which I thought made an incredible amount of sense. We now know Hangman is suspended from the Elite, so he's going to be off for a while. Yeah. He ends up losing that match, and I feel like it accomplishes so many wonderful things in this story. Yeah. He did exactly what he said he was going to do to you. Even though he didn't win, you didn't win, and that was the most important thing to him, was that you didn't get the thing that you were after that he had. The thing that you said to him, I want what's yours.
And it's also a distraction because I want to beat him. Mm-hmm. So it distracted me from Joe. So, like, could I beat Joe? We don't know. We still don't know that. Did I ever have Joe beat? Like, we don't know. But I had Hangman beat. Again, I know it was like it was the devil you know and the devil you don't know. Yeah. That's my cross. I know I can beat Hangman, so why wouldn't I go for Hangman, a guy that I've beaten twice already, almost
who has never beaten you,
who has never beaten you. So of course I'm going to go for that guy. But he's also distracting because like you can't leave your back turned to Samoa Joe, which is what happened in the finish of that match.